Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for technical difficulties and ask you to please rise for singing of the national anthems of Spain and Italy. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Italy.
כי הוא היה צריך את זה מעכשיו לעכשיו, ובאמת שהוא לא יכול להתעסק. לא קרה כבר, הייתי. הוא רצה עכשיו שמה, הזמינו לו תוך 5 דקות.
Good morning from Netanya, Israel, side of the 2019 Women's European Lacrosse Championship. This is day 7 and the second day of the knockout round. Ralph Bednarczyk and Steffi Samaras, head coach of the Greek national development team that's also here as part of a developmental festival. It's Italy taking on Spain. White on navy for the Italians as they went 0-4 through Group B play, taking on Spain, who's in the red on red with yellow accents. Spain 2-3, loses yesterday 11-3 to Switzerland, but they have a pair of one-goal wins over Finland and Sweden, so they are competing to try to go up the ladder. Here is Italy. They look for their first win. And Steffi, we've seen Italy out of Group B. They've had their moments, but they haven't been quite able to put it together, including their last loss, which they led Norway for good stretches of that game, eventually losing in their finale on Saturday by a final of 10-8. So they had a couple days off, and here they are once again.
Yeah, I think with both of these teams, we have sister duos.
There's Lavinia Jones. Good pass from Adriana Santucci to start the scoring for Italy.
Yeah, with Italy, we have the Santucci sisters. With Spain, we have the Borghera sisters. And I think it really could be a battle of siblings today. Who can produce more offensively? Both of these teams are going to be evenly matched from a speed standpoint. Both of these teams are evenly matched from a defensive standpoint. So again, I think this could be a battle of families.
And for Italy, they stayed together as a family yesterday. They came out to watch Spain play Switzerland in the morning together before taking the rest of the day off. Recovering again, sitting by the pool, is here Selena Hunter. Had the opportunity, but instead Teresa Manero, who has been a solid defender in the 4 games she has played. She missed one with an ankle injury against the Czech Republic. And here comes Spain with their first possession as Manero takes it forward and picks up the foul.
Manero is going to be a huge factor for Spain from a transition standpoint. If she can stay consistent the entire game, then Spain has a better chance of being able to produce offensively. Possessions are going to be key for Spain, though.
And in yesterday's game, Georgie Hart, head coach of Spain, was happy her team competed for all 4 quarters. Here's Teresa Borghera and then Catalina Borghera. So the Borghera sisters with their first touches here. And we do have the first face guard applied early in this one. This is something head coach Vic Alexander, iconic figure in English and Welsh women's lacrosse, former player for England, coach of England and Wales. So she puts the face guard on Quigley, who has been the initiator. And when I asked her before the game, she had a terrific face guard on Francesca Lero against Norway. Shut down Tala Sjölfeld, who had scored 3 goals in the first half. Nothing, not even maybe a touch in the entire second half. Hunter shoots. That's offside netting behind Nelia Ostafichuk. But this time it's a different face guarder, and that was Erika Bolinas.
And this is going to really test Spain's offense. Can they perform? Can somebody step up into the position of Melissa Quigley as the quarterback?
Yeah, and Sarah now is being face guarded here at the restraining line. And here's a ground ball that Camps, the main draw controller for Spain, is able to come up with. So it is a true face guard. Bolinas, 21, in white, has that assignment. So how does, and you're right, Steffi, how does Spain react? And they do in the 5-on-5 by getting a righty dodge from Catalina Borghera, one of their 2 high schoolers, and it is 1-1.
And you will see Catalina Borghera take that one-on-one from up top. Now, if they're playing a 5-on-5, because Quigley has basically pulled out of the offense, the amount of space that Catalina Borgera is going to have up top is going to be dramatically more.
And for Catalina, that is her 6th goal to lead or tie Sarah Quigley for the team lead. But Catalina had a terrific effort with 4 goals against Sweden in the 4th quarter of that game on Sunday. And Spain had to be carried by Catalina. And the face guard still remains. And what's interesting, now Francesca Lero comes in. She has been designated, and Coach Vic Alexander has given a young woman, a young player, a role. So she is matched up against Quigley, and Quigley is standing behind the Italy goal, which I've never seen before prior to a draw control.
Well, I think, you know what, Coach Alexander is going to probably go back and forth between the two. And I actually think this is a great game plan, the stamina of 2 versus the stamina of 1. And if that's the role that these two have to play and they can do it well, I think that's a great game plan against Spain.
Bianca Santucci, Italy with possession. And Bianca Santucci is fouled. Bianca is Italy's leading scorer, and she had a pretty solid game against Norway in Italy's tight loss in their finale on Saturday. But Bianca has 12 goals and 2 assists. Adriana right behind her with 5 and 3. There's Adriana. And Adriana cuts it across and then finishes to the low corner across the grain. So Italy back in front. Adriana Santucci with 1 and 1 in the early going.
And Adriana does a really good job. We talked about this a lot yesterday. When attackers dodge, if they can continue to move forward, the likeliness of a defender staying with them is pretty rare because their feet are facing the wrong direction. And she does a good job of making that dodge and continuing that motion around the crease.
These two nations scrimmaged each other on the opening day of the tournament. That was last Monday. Prior to the opening ceremonies and the tours, that morning, Italy and Spain rotated a lot of people, went through situations, so they didn't necessarily take a lot from the score because it wasn't a true full game scrimmage, more of an extended practice against a fellow opponent. This is a ground ball collected by Marta Rodriguez, the goalie, the only goalie for Spain. She has played every single second. And now Monero. And on the far side, Quigley remains in a face guard by Francesca Lero. So how do the rest of the Spanish players handle this? And how often do you think they have faced a face guard in a game? That's another question, I think, worth asking for a developing nation. And this is part of their evolution.
Yeah, a face guard this early in the program's history is probably something very new for them. And I think that with Coach Alexander at the helm, this is probably something maybe they haven't practiced, but they've definitely talked about. And Quigley is very aware. I'm sure that they scouted Italy. They saw that they did this to another team. They're aware of what's going on. Are they able to beat it?
Vivian Vitali now for Italy. They have a 2-1 lead. Adriana Santucci's stick save made. Rodriguez. And the ground ball. And it's recovered behind by the Italians. Vivian Vitali. And Vitali across Bianca Santucci. A nice hold there. And Bianca collects her 13th goal of this tournament for Italy.
Amazing two-man game on the crease there. And if you noticed, Bianca had almost come to a complete stop. Get her defender to go to the ball, almost tease her to go to the ball, and then explode away so she can collect that ball and shoot.
First assist of the tournament for Vivian Vitali. Italy looking for its first win of the Euros. We've reached our first quarter water break with the Italians leading Spain 3-1. 3-1 Italy, and they come up with another draw control. And off the wing, there's Bea Margonelli, who's been a workhorse for Italy in the midfield. But there is Camps for Spain. So the face guard continues. Now Francesca Lero, who is defending her all the way around the field. Lero started this marking job against the Swiss, and Swiss head coach Julie Duffy, especially after the game, seeked out Lero and complimented her after game. There's a shot, though. Selena Hunter, that's a pair of righty drives down the alley for Spain that have worked against Ostafichuk. Hunter has the goal, and it's 3-2.
I think they're going to continue to go with that drive. They're going to make the Italian defense either decrease their angle dramatically or make the Italy goalie make the save.
No, but it's missing that. So Hunter unassisted. Hunter overruns it, Camps, and she'll get there in a 3-2 Italy lead. So Spain with about 5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. They'll have possession as Spain looks for their third win. Both wins have been of the one-goal variety, so they've been in close games despite being a developing nation. Face guard on Quigley remains. I'm not sure if Sarah has handled it yet, even on that very first possession, as there is a foul against Italy off ball, and they'll put Margonelli behind, and that's going to lead to free position for Catalina Borghera. Catalina, and weaves through, wisely pulls it back. Might have been a dangerous propel there. Has she let that go? And there is the shooting space called, as Alvino thought she was in good position.
That call was actually the correct call. The defender turns, and because she's 2 to 3 meters away from her, she almost gets stuck like deer in headlights type of position, and Hunter with the pump fake.
There's another shooting space, Borghera. So the right alley dodge has been effective now for Spain. They've found something sweeping across. Catalina has already scored in this opening quarter. Nelia Ostafichuk has gotten the bulk of the action for Italy in goal. Catalina, and the stop made low, a bouncer. Ostafichuk holds her ground.
You know, one thing as Spain progresses, Catalina will go to her left there and shoot back to her right with all that space she has on her left-hand side. And that's just something that Coach Alexander will continue to work with this Spain team on.
Alvino, Quigley, and nearly got herself first touch on the ball. And Mariangela Alvino had a good game in the second game of this tournament for Italy against Switzerland, one of their bright spots there. Here's Lavinia Jones, Bianca Santucci. And Spain rides Italy well, and finally, the Italians a chance to breathe here in this opening quarter. They lead 3-2.
And the question may be, how does Coach Georgie Hurt get Melissa Quigley involved in this offense?
Got a foul outside. There, as Alvino will go to the free position.
Yeah, I think Teresa Monero is going to be a key factor for Spain. She's going to have to do it all defensively, and she may have to be the person that steps up into Melissa Quigley's place offensively.
A shot inside, and Italy goes back up by 2. Adriana Santucci. 4-2 game, so Adriana now a hand in 3 of the 4 goals for Italy. And all 3 goals now for the Italians have been right on top of Rodriguez. Well, the defense has been the anchor for Spain, something Georgie Hurt has been able to rely on. She's consistently been happy with that. Marginelli. Bianca Santucci overruns it, and she'll pick it up. Ahead, Lavinia Jones, quick shot, and it never got through. The recovery there for Spain defensively, as Raquel Barreda was just able to prevent a good look at Cage. Adriana Santucci, quick stick inside again. That was a one-hand grab, and Adriana Santucci was able to quickly cradle, rocket, and shoot.
That was a great play, and I want to go back to the vision of Bianca Santucci. She was able to look 2 or 3 layers past the defense to find her teammate on the crease, and that's a catch. But that now creates this crease play that probably isn't a play by Italy. It's probably just them figuring out what's happening and reading the defense. But Adriana Santucci with the one-hand grab and the ability to pull that grab down and quickly turn it into a shot in 2 or 3 steps on the crease, pretty fantastic.
The Santucci's from Coquitlam, British Columbia, just outside of Vancouver. And of course, the Canadian Italians, they have a lot of box lacrosse experience, either seeing the sport, being around it. And that influence, that adds just another layer of stick skills as they've made it 5-2.
Well, you know, you can look at the Santucci's stick skills and show it's almost like they wrap their shoulders around their sticks as another form of protection. And that's what you see by a lot of the box players, using their body to protect their stick.
And the flood of Canadians, of course, into parts like the United States. Canada has always been a strong World Championship contender. And as the game continues to grow, you see other countries seeing the Canadian influence too. End of the first quarter, 5-2. Italy looking for their first win. Adriana Santucci, 3 goals and an assist as the Italians have the lead over Spain. Watch tape with me. But the Israel. (5-2) the lead for Italy, looking for their first win. They're 0-4, but a couple of days off. Spain at 2-3. Here's Selena Hunter with Steffi Samaras, Ralph Bednarczyk. Face guard continues on Sarah Quigley behind cage for Spain offensively by Francesca Lero. So can Quigley just get herself just some activity as a picker? We'll see what's going to happen there. And there's a shot, no angle there to shoot at for Blanca Alejos, and Ostafichuk has it. We've also seen Quigley play some in the midfield, so perhaps that can change something as she chases down Alvino, and a couple of swipes, but she could not jar it free.
You know, this is an interesting thing for Quigley. How much energy does she expend?
Bianca Santucci on the run. She's got a second. And the Santucci sisters here have 5 of the 6 goals for Italy.
That's a great finish high for Santucci. And notice the way she carries her stick off of her hip. It's almost a low fake every single time she cradles. So to bring your stick back up high to release the ball, the Spain goalie is not prepared for it. Quigley, on the other hand, for Spain in the attack, how much energy is she expending, thinking, moving, doing the extra stuff that she's trying to do? Does that play a factor for her in this game as well, and how does she respond to that?
Camps, draw control for Spain. And can you imagine the first conversation Vic Alexander when she gathered Team Italy and teaching the face guard to a player and explaining, yeah, so essentially you stand next to them at all moments, even when the whistle is blown, regardless of where they are in the field.
Yeah, we like to say, you know, for lack of a better term, you have to get in her shorts. And that term means a lot of things. Mentally, physically, how do you disrupt her game?
Selena Hunter calling for the charge. Perhaps a little bit of the shoulder. All the off arm, and Spain upset with the officiating. And here comes Alvino. She has Jones, and Jones cannot bring down the pass. The ball in the corner will die out of bounds.
I thought that one was going to stay in.
And that one would have been the biggest surprise. It's a new turf field here, so it still at times will play like a grass field with the way the ball will slow down in the corners. This is a ground ball that bounced off the body of Manero. And we'll get interference called against Italy during the jostling process. And now procedure called here against Spain. Catalina Borgera wondering when she should have gone. And this is going to be an opportunity here, a restart for Vitali. She feeds down low, had Jones, but it'll go right back to Marta Rodriguez.
I think this is one of those lax IQ situations. Spain's got to sort of keep their heads about them. There is no harm nor foul in having a very quick conversation with the official. Is it a free start? Is it a whistle start?
Oh, nice moves. Irene Garcia denied as she rolled on the run. Capriati defensively for Spain. Alvino. Bianca Santucci as she pirouettes through off of some contact and pushes for Italy. Then right back, Lavinia Jones in tights.
We got some ping-ponging going on here, so it'd be good to see Italy settle this ball down. They have enough of a lead. They don't need to push every single envelope. I like that they're doing it so far. We haven't seen that out of Italy.
Adriana Santucci, she waits for the restart. By the way, happy birthday, Adriana. She turns 19 today here in Netanya, Israel. It's already been a happy one, or at least in the works event, before she blows out the candles. 3 goals and an assist in the first quarter. Lavinia Jones celebrated her birthday last week, too, for Italy on the attack. She scored a goal. There have been a ton of birthdays here for all the nations, including Norway head coach Charlotte Sterling. All that's left is maybe a proposal.
Whoa. I don't know if we're going to get that, but I think we might be the first 2 to know if we are.
Yeah.
Talk about proposals. How many weddings have we had post-event, pre-event, and how many are planned post-event?
Barreda. Skips it back. Garcia just had a good look earlier, and then she misses to the short side. Backup belongs to Spain. They climb within 3-2 on a Selena Hunter goal before Adriana twice and then Bianca Santucci have again scored goals for the Italians.
And now Quigley on the bench, we don't have a face guard.
So Georgie Hurt elected to see her offense play some 6-on-6. Christina Velez. And there is another, that's going to be, I think, a moving screen against Hunter. Trying to spring Velez. Or was it Velez in more of a charging fashion? But it will be Italy ball, Francesca Capriati.
And this is where Italy has the time and the patience. They're doing a very good job of.
And the other way, Italy is able to push transition. Elena Anug.
Italy is doing a really good job of keeping their head up and staying very patient.
Anug with the low shot. Water break midway through the second quarter. Italy has opened up a 7-2 lead on Spain. Welcome back to our live coverage from Netanya, Israel. Midway through the second quarter following the water break, Italy leads Spain 7-2. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Honings, for outfitting all the teams, World Lacrosse and the Olympic Channel for broadcasting and live streaming this event. Spain with another possession. Italy just got another transition goal. Elena Anug, the finish. And here is 16-year-old Marta Bravo on the field in the second quarter, along with Irene Garcia. A face guard maintains on Spain attacker Sarah Quigley. Skip pass in front, Garcia, and she was looking to connect with a cutter, and that one harmlessly falls into the stick of Ostafichuk. But Italy has found something defensively. Remember, if you factor in the second half of the game against Norway, and Norway, solid team, they lost to the Netherlands in a Group B championship game, and then Norway losing yesterday to Scotland, Group A opponents, though they've shown they can compete for stretches. And Italy really pushed them, particularly in the second half, where Norway had to earn and figure out a way to get a victory 10-8 coming back from behind with their leading scorer, Thales Hjulfeld, not being involved at all. So here Italy, through essentially 4 quarters of face guard defense, has been effective.
And you know, they may have still be trying to figure it out, but again, not going with a new game plan against teams that clearly have individuals that make a very specific impact on their team. Quigley makes a very specific impact.
Dodge to the front, and Bianca Santucci beats her defender. And the Santucci's just finding gaps, so Bianca has her third.
And again, Bianca recognizes she's out in no man's land. She's not behind the cage, and the defense isn't shadowing her in front of the crease. She's not up on the elbow being played straight up. She's in this no man's land, which is a scary part of the field for an attacker, but a very important part of the field, because if they can recognize that they have the ability to go over and under on their defender, there's no way to guard an attacker appropriately in that no man's land.
Camps for Spain, another draw control.
Camps is doing an amazing job of getting the ball for Spain off the draw. And in the return, Italy is doing a very good job of stopping the Spain attack in their defensive end and transitioning for their goals.
Teresa Borgera on a bouncer. She picks up a foul. An important free position for Teresa Borgera. And you get the sense Spain is going to have to shoot the ball incredibly well on free position today to hang around. They trail 8-2. Still plenty of time remaining in the second quarter.
And look at the space.
And false start against Teresa Borgera.
And notice the defender from Italy, who is face guarding Quigley, has chosen not to even try to crash on that 8-meter. That's how important that position is for Italy's defense.
So credit Italy coach Vic Alexander for being the first coach to employ a face guard that we have seen here.
And its effectiveness.
Yeah. I'm trying to recall it. I believe there was another coach yesterday, another team that went with a brief face guard for a period of time. It was the Netherlands that did that for a period of time. But Italy, they were the first. They're keeping up with it. And perhaps we will see them go with it all the way until Thursday, until their finale.
This may be a mainstay in their defensive play.
It might be a staple of Italian lacrosse moving forward, a character trait. Trying to stuff the ball inside, a good save made high, again by Ostafichuk, as that was Beatriz de la Fuente, the shooter. Here comes Alvino. Alvino patience. And to check back for the ball, 15-year-old Francesca Pucci. Part of the significant building blocks that Italy lacrosse has. And we also wish the very best to Ludovica Giorgetti, who was hurt, one of the founding mothers of this Italian women's lacrosse team. She has been involved since day one. Unfortunately, she was not able to travel with Italy, but has been watching all the games. Ludovica Giorgetti, wish you the best, as Italy and Coach Vic Alexander, Lou Scott have said that they're thinking about her during these games here. And they have an 8-2 lead, looking for their first win.
Patience. This is not a team that we've seen be patient, and Italy is being very patient right now. And with patience comes reading the defense. We've talked about that a lot this week. How well can you read the defense that's guarding you, and what are they giving you? What limits can you push?
Vivian Vitali looking for her first goal of the Euros. Backup, though, went to Spain. So Barreda ahead. Teresa Borgara, chance to sprint out. Camps has not shown aggressiveness yet as a Dodger. Teresa Borgara picks out a spot and could not finish. Good find by Camps.
This is what Spain needs to do. Just continue the play that they know what to do. Find a comfort.
Camps shooting, and Ostafichuk the same. That's the most involved we've seen Camps in this tournament.
Yeah, I think she has the ability to get more involved. And this might be something that she needs to learn. How do you be this very specific person for Spain on the draw, as well as get involved in their offense? We want to see Spain use Camps' height to their advantage.
Lero was the one fouled, as quickly tried to pressure Ostafichuk. Adriana Santucci. Adriana, a throwback. Good look, a fake. Bianca Santucci. 9-2.
Sister act.
So Bianca now with 4, and Adriana adds another assist.
What I love about the two of them is that, one, they know how to draw attention to themselves. And then when they draw that attention to themselves, they're able to keep their shoulders and their head up. A lot of attackers we see, when they draw that attention to themselves, they go into somewhat of a shell. And Adriana Santucci stands tall and actually had 2 options there, because I believe there was another Italian attacker in between she and Bianca.
That's the end of the second quarter. Italy builds on its lead. They've pushed it to 9-2. The Santucci's on their way to celebrating a very happy birthday for Adriana. We'll be back in 15 minutes to bring you the second half as Italy looks for its first win.
I'm gonna go get water, so I'll fix the score.
Italy over Spain as we're waiting for the sprinklers to turn off here in the left-hand corner to us. So we'll see if the players will, in the direction that Italy is going, maybe avoid that for a little while. That might need a little bit of time to dry, but fortunately, Pablo Borguera went over there. I think he just shut it off, the father of Teresa and Catalina Borguera of Spain, that we had a chance to meet up with. So, good job, Pablo.
It's great when the parents can get involved in
Oh, is it?
all aspects
Is it?
of the facility. Coaches probably would like them to not get involved in potentially the play part, but we do clearly love their support all the time.
Here's Bea Marginelli and Italy now into the very wet part of the field. And Italy with possession. Bianca Santucci, 4 goals. Younger sister Adriana, on her 19th birthday, has scored 3 goals and 2 assists. And then Italy on the defensive end has used the face guard on Spain's most experienced, most accomplished player in Sarah Quigley, who is originally from the United States, lives and makes her home there as a high school coach and played Division III women's lacrosse. So she's been the one chosen by Italy coach Vic Alexander to apply the face guard with, and so far Quigley does not have a shot. She has 6 goals in the tournament to lead Spain. Now the ground ball picked up, Vitali, and Italy preserves the possession. And Italy looking to close out their first win. And because these teams are playing, it would be considered the second consolation bracket in this 16-team tournament. Italy is locked into their next games. They'll take on Sweden tomorrow at 3:20, and then close out the Euros against Finland at 3 o'clock Thursday. A shot from the outside, and Adriana Santucci just took one step and fired. 10-2.
And that is pure placement and power by Adriana Santucci. She knew where she was going to put the ball, and she put the ball there. And I want to stress placement on these shots, because I don't think we can explain it well enough that Bianca and Adriana Santucci have such a great eye for the net, and their placement is very particular, which is what you want out of your shooters.
Morganelli. Bianca Santucci as she weaves through Teresa Borghera, and another possession for the Italians, and they have a firm hold on this game. Spain with wins over Finland and Sweden, and it took a lot of confidence from it. And they've been playing hard for all 4 quarters, but here, some mistakes. Bianca Santucci, nobody came on the backside to stop her look. It's 11-2.
And she was able to wrap her stick around the crease. And actually, this is probably one of the first crease drives we've seen where she shot opposite post because Spain's goalie was doing such a good job of holding the near post.
An 8-0 run by Italy to pull away. After a Selena Hunter goal, made it 3-2 midway through the first quarter. And here's Garcia that comes up with a draw control. Spain has competed hard in the draw circle, but they have not had enough in terms of cohesion of the offensive end. And certainly the face guard on Quigley has been a part of that. Quigley has probably carried the ball more than any other player from Spain in this tournament coming in. So now she tries to set screens, and Spain will look to continue to play in a 5-on-5 setting. Borghera here for Patricia Zapata.
I think that Spain is going to have to add a little bit more sprinkles in here from a one-on-one standpoint and a draw and dump standpoint. They can't just look to drive, and they can't just look to feed.
Teresa Borghera, free position coming.
And again, we talked a lot. Look at all the space that Borghera has.
As she'll go in and shoot right into the body of Ostafichuk. Spain today in free position has not shot it well enough or moved Ostafichuk.
And that is probably purely just the development of Spain. And again, we've talked about this a lot. What does Coach Georgie Hurt work on when you're trying to develop a country? What's the most important things that you feel you need to prepare for?
Hunter.
That was a great knockdown by Hunter.
She's played a good amount of defense and then sprinkled in the midfield. Hunter will have it. Selena's mom also made the trip to Israel to watch her daughter from the Philadelphia area.
Yeah, we had a fun interaction with her yesterday. Post-game tiredness from a daughter, questioning what is her mother doing. Sort of just like my mom.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it seems like you've been there for years.
For years. Yes, and guess what, Selena? It doesn't get better. They continue to love you and stay in your business.
Now, you have also swore that you will be different. You have 3 daughters. So here's an inside roll by Garcia, and that's stripped away. And here comes Alvino.
Small little white lies, Ralph, as a mother. I tell myself.
There's Vitali. And Italy has been very good in the clears. Spain has not been able to be pesky. And it comes to Ravelli. And the Italians spread the ball nicely. Italy against these Group C opponents of Spain, Sweden and Finland, they'll be favorites. But can they improve over the course of these wins after showing some flashes during Group B play as Aneta Ferreri on the field for the first time has it. Ferreri, high pass, Vitali.
And that might be something that Coach Alexander is looking to figure out about this team. You know, is there separation? Is there that great of a separation between her team and some of those teams playing in the C division?
And we've seen how quickly teams can grow. Of course, the Czech Republic aside, which is a whole nother story and another world investigating. The rise of the Czech Republic over the last 4 years has really been what people have focused on. They were good 2 years ago. Now they've become elite, as this is a dangerous propel at the body of a player by Anug. And we'll get the game's first yellow. And this is Spain's Zoe Geidelberg that is shaken up. But to even jump from Group C to Group B just seems like, you know, even that is a significant one. It takes a lot of work to get there for a country.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to what do these coaching staffs focus on? What is the difference between an England, Wales, and Israel and a Spain, Sweden, Finland?
Ground ball, De La Fuente got there. Ball's gonna belong to Spain. That's the water break for the third quarter. 11-2. Italy has added 2 more from the Santucci sisters, and they have a 9-goal lead over Spain. Midway through the third quarter, possession for Alvino and Italy. They lead 11-2 as the Italians have already put up the most goals they've scored in the game in this tournament. Battled Latvia in the opener 10-7, and we've seen Latvia has shown that they could be a quality Group B team. 13-6 to the Swiss. They wish they were in that game through 3 quarters. 19-6 over the Netherlands. The Netherlands at another level. They won Group B, going 4-0. And then the aforementioned 10-8 score, in which they really challenged Norway. So some good things for the Italians here as they work on, though, their first win and some tangible evidence of their hard work as the program continues to evolve and has become a lot more domesticated after the last World Championship. They had about 8 players from the U.S., and they've decided to go make it be a much more of a homegrown team moving forward. And they thank those players that participated with them in 2017 just to provide the training wheels. And now the structure, the foundation for Italy to move forward is there, and led by some great people, including Vic Alexander and her coaching staff, and many others that are back home watching or doing work behind the scenes. Marginelli passes up the shot, Bianca Santucci.
I think that's a really good point. That the trend is progressing your country's team to be as domestic as possible. But the outlook is there are some foundational aspects that may need to be set to get the ball rolling in these underdeveloped countries.
Sweep across, and inside, Adriana Santucci, stuffed by Marta Rodriguez, and it has to happen somewhere. And I'm excited to just see, I'm sure there will be a story somewhere about Kenya.
Yes.
And that travel that is probably still going. Have you checked in today with Storm Trentham?
I have not checked in with Storm, but Kenya, I would assume, is probably landed in Ontario.
Catalina Borgera, there's the best save by Ostafichuk. Reaching high on Catalina, who is bearing in on her. Kenya, in case you haven't heard, has organized its first women's lacrosse team. They are going to be in the World U19 Women's Championship taking place August 1st through the 10th in Peterborough, Ontario. So they left yesterday from Kenya on what might be at least 2 transfers. As there's Sarah Quigley, I believe her first touch, as now the face guard appears off and now she's defended by Capriati. So we'll see if it remains on. And here is Blanca Alejos picking up the foul. And once Kenya gets there, past getting their visas approved very last minute, and having a chance to breathe and interact and with each other and not worry about anything, just focus on lacrosse, and then interact with the other nations that are there and watch those games in person.
And they couldn't have a better person in Storm Trentham to lead their charge. One, she knows everybody from every country, so they're going to experience the Americans, the Canadians. They're just going to experience everything, and clearly the coaching staff that Storm has been able to amass, the experience that these girls already have going into this game, and it's about development. It's all about development.
Catalina Borgera will have a free position. She's got one of the 2 goals for Spain and takes the bouncer, and Ostafichuk able to read that ball as it came up off the crossbar. And backup belongs to Italy. Capriati, they're sealed Quigley on that end line and is able to come up with the ball. Well, I would imagine there will be a story written about Kenya somewhere. And I'm sure that just what we know is probably not even the half of it.
Exactly. The fact that the visa process almost didn't happen, and you think about that, and you think about all of the different sports that are played, all of the different world championships, Olympics.
Flag is out as Italy circles with Annetta Ferreri. And they'll give the free position to Ferreri as Minero fouled her on the pass-off. Well, now we have another call.
Offside.
It was offsides, as the official on the far side noticed that Italy had 7 across the restraining line. So it's actually offsetting foul, so we'll get a throw. Something Italy was trying to shore up during this tournament was even the substitution game. Vic Alexander described that, you know, even the language barrier at times and lacrosse terminology, which sometimes isn't automatic, but Ferreri comes up with it. So there have been times where Italy just subbing on efficiently, and who stays across, who doesn't, especially when the defender probes, comes across. And those little things you take for granted in sports. Adriana Santucci, and a bouncer goes over the top.
Yeah, sometimes lacrosse vernacular just doesn't translate.
11-2, everybody knows what that whistle means. End of the third quarter. Italy in control, looking to sew up their first win. They've got the 9-goal lead over Spain. Fourth quarter begins with Italy leading Spain 11-2. Spain was forced to play, as you might say metaphorically, forced to play left-handed. They played the first close to 3 quarters with Sarah Quigley being face guarded by mostly Francesca Lero And Spain trying to play 5-on-5 that way, as Quigley kind of hung around behind, and now here is Quigley in the midfield, and she comes up with a ground and thought she was fouled, but play continues. Ravelli got her with the stick. So as Quigley motors her way through, and now a foul is called.
I believe a charge was called on Quigley.
So a frustrating day for Quigley and for Spain. Try to learn how to play with someone off ball, whether as a decoy or a screener. Here's Francesca Pucci. Lavinia Jones. Spain tomorrow. They'll take on Finland, so they'll be able to hang out and watch Finland play Sweden next, which will be coming up at 1 o'clock local time in Netanya. Spain, of course, significant win coming from a 10-8 deficit with 3 minutes left to defeat Finland earlier in the tournament, 11-10. It was Quigley that had the game tire and go-ahead goal. So that'll be an opportunity for Finland to maybe remember that, and this time get España in the knockout round. A ground ball, that's Minero. And Teresa Minero for Spain.
Minero for Spain has been all over the field. She just does not stop, ever.
She had 2 goals and a strong offensive game from her low defense spot against Sweden. You know, now a victory over Spain. That was their other 1-goal win, 9-8. And Spain and Sweden are scheduled to meet again in what shapes up what could be the 15 versus 16 game at the end of their tournament, as there is Selena Hunter bouncer. And they're going to give the ball to, no signal yet. And it will be Italy that gets back up with Ostafichuk.
A great rundown by Ostafichuk, and that's the easy things.
By mistake, Julia Melli has come in for the 4th quarter as Ostafichuk gets started. As she goes here to Lero. And Lero in and out of her stick. And they're working on Lero's stick skills, but right now, at this level, she can be a high-level man marker.
Yeah, she's proving it. She's proving it really well, and there are some things that I think Coach Vic Alexander are going to want to tweak, you know, as they progress. But with such a specific role and having a player who will just take on that role so easily with potentially not a lot of training, not a lot of knowledge.
And it's also a selfless role that not every lacrosse player wants. You're not necessarily involved in the offense at all. There's a strip quickly. Took it away from Melli and then is fouled. Melli had to foul her, so Quigley will get a chance to shoot on an open cage from the angle.
This will be interesting how they set. Yep, they're going to put the Italian goalie behind.
Lero could potentially get in her way.
Let's see where Quigley aims for on this shot.
Quigley across, shoots, and puts it in.
Good finish by Quigley.
So Sarah Quigley gets the first goal of this 4th quarter, her 7th of the tournament. And that at least gives a little pause to what's been a frustrating day for Spain on the offensive end.
You know, one of the things that in this situation, clearly it's very rare that you see a goalkeeper commit the foul and then be placed behind. In the instances that I've seen that, the defender who's low, I've only seen it once, and I thought it was really interesting. They actually committed a crease violation before the shot, which enabled their goalie to get back in the crease. And then set the 8-meter again because of the crease violation, and then the goalie made the save.
I imagine maybe a diving kind of a save or just a recovery to get your feet under you.
Well, the goalie was back in the crease, so they're allowed to move regardless of the whistle.
That ends an 8-0 run by Italy. And Spain, little goals now. Can they win the fourth quarter? As Teresa Borgera handles. Into Marginelli, and Marginelli a little bit too much of the stick. So as Borgera was looking for a windup, Catalina now set up on the right wing. Catalina, and the shot is blocked. Never got through. Bea Marginelli got in the way. Adriana Santucci.
I love how fluid her stick is. And again, you see that stick. She does the majority of the handling of the stick when she knows she's not gonna have to be in her triple threat position down by her waist. And it almost just sits there, nice and comfortable. Same thing with her sister Bianca.
They both spent the last season at LIU Brooklyn in New York City. Bianca, going into her senior year, had 35 goals, 5 assists as she holds here. So by far Italy's most accomplished player. Adriana, limited time, 5 goals, 5 assists. And she will be a sophomore, with Adriana just turning 19 today. As a pass handled by Bianca Santucci. And Italy under no rush, with Spain backing off, not pressuring, to finish out this fourth quarter healthy and move on to tomorrow.
Italy is doing a really good job of continuing to move, continuing to attack. It's hard in these situations. Maybe they don't want to shoot. Maybe that's not their focus, but to continue to have all of that movement while potentially in a stall, if that's what you want to call it, hard to do. Hard to do.
Nice face dodge, Ravelli. Then the throwback, Adriana, and a stop there by Marta Rodriguez. Challenging the shot. Good throwback there from Ravelli to the cutting Santucci. Here's the water break midway through the fourth quarter. Spain has the lone goal of the period, but Italy in control, 11-3. midway through the fourth quarter. Mark Camps looking for a goal. Save made Yulia Melli, one of her better ones. Yulia, the backup goalie, here for the Italians. But then she sails the pass back. And Yulia still in her early stages of lacrosse. She plays softball and has come up playing softball throughout her youth through the Italian national system. So lacrosse has been her second undertaking. But as we've spoken with these developing countries, you've got to find goalies from somewhere. And even a program such as the Czech Republic, aside from the two that they have at the national team, only have one other at 15 years old. Spain is searching for another goalie besides Marta Rodriguez, as here is Teresa Borgera fouled. They're looking for goalies to build in the pipeline. You simply have to have it to make steps forward.
Yeah, I think the first place you look is girls who play goalies in other sports.
Yep, we've seen
Field
it.
hockey.
Yep.
Ice hockey. Even soccer.
Yep, a floorball. We saw Hanna Rosala, that's the backup goalie for Finland. And she's being molded for that position. She's played goalie for under 3 years behind starter Jennifer Riley. That game is next, Finland and Sweden. Perhaps we'll see Rosala play a little bit more. So the Italians settle here. They've played a cleaner game in terms of yellow cards. They have executed a face guard for nearly 4 full quarters. Bianca Santucci. Santucci continues, and Santucci with the face dodge, and then was stripped. As she held on to it perhaps just a touch too long, and the ball will come down. Hunter looking for it in front of Marta Rodriguez in goal. And finally raked into the stick for Marta Rodriguez. We have a whistle, and that's an Italian player shaken up. And that's Bia Marganelli. Bea is gonna regroup. So no foul occurred. So here comes Barreda. Once again, I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Barreda for the beautiful España Lacrosse t-shirts. A lot of the teams here have some great swag that they've been wearing in support of their countries and their friends and family, but especially the España Lacrosse t-shirt.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's just a great color scheme that, of course, has been popular worldwide across all sports, most personified, of course, by the Spanish men's soccer national team.
And I think that Spain is probably in the running for best uniforms for our superlatives at the end of this event.
I think so. We may not make that part of the list public. I don't know if we want to upset anybody, but we can vote on it. We just don't have to tell anybody.
Yeah, that's very true.
And Italy will work it ahead. Meanwhile, Vic Alexander today for Italy is not going with a neon-colored tank top during the heat, going with more the Italian familiar blue. And she and her staff, Lou Scott and Lindsay Colferai. We haven't mentioned it, Lindsay from Germantown, Maryland, as here is a foul and a yellow card against Adriana Santucci. And they've been great to interact with and tell us everything they want to, or anything we can ask about their players. They love speaking about this experience. Geidelberg comes up with a clear.
I think that the Italian team is one of those teams that when you see the personality of their coaching staff, the same personality is what this team takes on. Very relaxed, likes to have a good time, likes to get down to business when it's time to play, but understands and appreciates what they're experiencing.
The reset Geidelberg. Free position. She has Irene Garcia also to her left. Spain is the lone goal of the fourth quarter. And Geidelberg, save made by Melli on the stick side. But then she threw the clear right off of a Spanish player. And the turn here by Ravelli. So Spain trying to be effective in the ride. Bolinas overran the ground ball. The foul will be against Spain. So there's Anug. Vitali able to turn. And now Bianca Santucci for the final 30 seconds. Spain is the lone goal. That could be some consolation for Coach Georgie Hurt. But the face guard on Sarah Quigley through the first half really did damage to Spain. And it'll be another opportunity for Coach Hurt and España to get into the lab and work on a new situation. And that's what this tournament is all about, progressing in lacrosse and improving Italy. After some opportunities to win games through the group stage, they went 0-4. They come back after a couple days off, and they pick up a satisfying win over Spain this morning. 11-3 is the final. Happy birthday, Adriana Santucci.